So welcome back to the Mayor's Corner. I'm Mayor Nathan C. And today we have Miss Sandy Fletcher with us from Beta Alpha. And we're going to be talking about that organization and what they do in the community and the impact they have in the community. So Sandy Fletcher and their organization is a vital piece to our community, as all civic organizations are. And so in the coming podcast that we're going to be having, you're going to see more civic organizations coming in to talk about what they do in the community, the impact they have, and they need members, and so that's what we want to do, is try to grow their members and let people know what's available for you to serve. If you want to serve on a committee or you want to serve and volunteer, that's what this is going to be about. So Sandy Fletcher, thank you for coming in today and having this conversation with us. Glad to have you, and thank you for what you do in the community. Thank you for Beta Alpha, and I know that there's a lot of things that wouldn't happen if it wasn't for this organization and this chapter doing what they do in the community. So let's start off and just talk about what you do in the role and what Beta Alpha does, and let's go into the events. All right. And just give us a rundown of your organization.
Okay. Well, Nathan, thanks for having us. We really appreciate this opportunity. So as I am a member of Beta Alpha, I have been chapter president. I have been state president for 2 years. Locally, we have 9 members in our chapter. We're always looking for new members, as we do so much in the community. We all join this organization in order to give back to the community that we love. The majority of us were born and raised here, so this is what we do to give back. We have an event every year to raise money for our senior scholarships so that we can give money to our seniors. We raise money for St. Jude Children's Hospital nationally. That's our national philanthropic organization, and so we raise a lot of money for them as well. But we try to keep all of our money here in Pea Ridge and serve the people of Pea Ridge.
That's awesome. And the scholarship that you guys do, is that a scholarship for 1 or 2, or how many do you guys try to do as far as a scholarship that you want?
We try to do 5.
Okay.
If we've been lucky enough to be able to raise enough money to do 5. We started out giving 4 $100 scholarships, and we have been able to grow that to 5 $500 scholarships.
Nice. That's good.
So, and that's good. Cash money to them, basically. We don't make it go to a school. So, but one of the criteria, of course, is that they are going to further their education.
Yeah.
So
cool. Very good. So talk a little bit about Miss Pea Ridge pageant.
Yes, Miss Pea Ridge has been around 75 years this year.
That's awesome. That's a cornerstone of Pea Ridge, 75 years ago.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that is our biggest event, and we try to put a lot of our effort into that. Since COVID, unfortunately, has dwindled, before COVID, we would have upwards of 75 to 100 contestants across 10 age groups. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, it has dwindled. I'm not sure why, but we would love to get that back to where we used to be, and to have lots of girls and little boys competing for the title of Miss Pea Ridge. Like I say, the winner of Miss Pea Ridge, the senior scholarship, they get $1,000.
Nice.
So part of that is $1,000 for
Very
that.
Good.
And then we just like I say, we have 10 age groups going from 3 to 18. So we actually had a lot of new girls this year that had never done it before, so I was very excited about that.
That's good.
Yes. We would really like the senior high girls to get more involved and step up and be involved in this, and it's good. We do a lot of community service for Pea Ridge, so they would get a lot of experience there, a lot of exposure. We try to have them at anything that we are involved in, and then, of course, if there's anything going on in the city that you might need her as a presence for, we would love to have them up here doing whatever that you need to do as well.
Is there community hours that they have to do, as far as they have to do the threshold of community hours whenever they do that? In school they have to have 75 hours, I think it is, or whatever that is. So.
Right. No, not necessarily. For our teen group all the way to seniors, they do have to have an impact project that we make them do. So it's like a service project that they are involved in within the city. Okay. So that they kind of like a platform.
They have a platform.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So they have to do that in order to compete. So.
Very good. Yeah, that's a great. I love the pageant. My daughters have been a part of it, obviously, and I think it gives a lot of girls motivation and gives them self awareness of, hey, I can do this.
Yes.
And in today's world, I think that's vital for them to be able to know that.
Right.
And there's so many things that we do in the community, but a lot of what we do in the community, it takes organizations and people like you to make things happen. And so thank you for being a part of everything you guys do. I know that the Miss Pea Ridge comes to the Mule Jump in October and helps hand out awards there. So they get a lot of presence in the community whenever they're out and about. And we try to do everything we can to get them recognized at all the events that we do.
Yes.
I know that we have them flip the switch at the Christmas tree lighting downtown, and that's an awesome event by itself. I mean, let's talk a little bit about the parade.
Yes, so the parade, that's one of the things I'm really excited about. We have grown this parade so much in the last few years. It's always been a good parade, but for whatever reason, in the last few years, it has really taken off. And last year, I think we had 75 or 80 entrants. So that's pretty good for a small town.
Yeah.
And I've heard rumors around the area that Pea Ridge has the best Christmas parade around. So
that's awesome.
So I love that.
Be proud of that.
Yes, I love that. So this year the Christmas parade will be December 7th. It's always the first Saturday in December. It'll start at 5:30. We have selected a theme, and that is Candy Cane Christmas.
Okay.
So I think that's one that we haven't done for a while, and so we decided to bring it back. And So
very good.
There's no fee to enter. There's all you got to do is show up at line up, and we'll put you in line.
And we're in line up at Equity again, behind Equity Bank, there off of Slack Street. Okay. Whenever I was a part of that last year was my first year to actually be in the parade and be able to see it lined with kiddos just waiting for the candy. And me and my wife were talking, and I told Nikki said, I think next year you need to have dog treats because there were so many dogs that were there too. Yeah. So this year we're going to be doing dog treats as well as candy for the dogs.
Yeah.
So, but it's great to see the community come out and support that. There's not whenever you're driving down through there's not a gap in that community is there side by side.
Yes.
Neighbors meeting neighbors and creating that connectivity. So that's a great event, and it's probably it's one of the best probably attended events that we hold. I would say in the community is that one.
I would agree.
And so whenever we have everybody downtown, last year we had the kids sing some songs. We'll do that again this year. And you guys really do put a lot of effort and time into that. How can people give back to Beta Alpha?
Definitely. We're always looking for new members. We meet the first Tuesday of every month at the Messiah Lutheran Church. No affiliation. We just meet there. So we would be glad to have you. If you just want to come and find out what we do, come to a meeting and find out what we do. Ask questions. You can get a hold of anybody. We have a Facebook page, so you can get a hold of us there or contact myself or anyone and just come see what we do. And like I say, there's so many things that we do and we raise money for and we give back. But it takes all of us to make things happen.
That's right.
And the more members we have, the less, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but the less things you have to attend. Right now we have 9 of us, and it takes all of us to attend everything.
Right.
But if the more members we have, then you could, if you're going to be busy one night, you're like, oh, well, I can't make it. Well, that's okay. There's somebody to take your place.
Yeah.
So we always are looking for new members to be able to help give back to the
city. How long has Beta Alpha been around?
We chartered March 25th, 1964, so 60 years this year.
Nice. Yes. That's a big celebration.
Yes.
60 years. That's awesome. That's awesome to celebrate. So if people are looking to help out in any area, as far as maybe they just want to show up for an event and help out at an event, maybe that's a way to get some people into it and let them know, hey, I want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
And so, they don't have to be a member, if you will, but if they want to volunteer at something, just reach out to you and have that conversation and sign up for that. So I think that's a good way to help with community events as well.
Yes.
What is one or two things that you would talk about that Beta Alpha has done in the last 60 years that has been probably like the stakeholder of Beta Alpha? Is there an event or something that you would look back and say, you know what, we did that event in whatever year that you've been here in the last 14 years, is there an event or something that you would look back to say, that really was a great event. That really was something that I'm proud that we did.
Right.
Is there anything like that that you
Well,
that comes to your mind?
of course, the pageants are my favorite, and we have come a long way with them. We went from having them on a trailer outside the intermediate school in 95-degree weather to the awesome facility that we have inside at the high school. So they've really come a long way as far as pageants go, and I'm very proud of those. Like I said, they've been a staple since, for 75 years. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing. We also, our community Thanksgiving dinner is awesome.
Yeah.
So that is one thing.
That.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I forget about. So.
Yes. It actually, our numbers have dwindled this year or the last few years, and we haven't had as much participation. So last year we opted to take it directly to Autumn Place mm-hmm. and cook for them directly, and that was nice. We would love to be able to bring it back into the community so that everyone can come. It started out back years and years ago as a senior citizens dinner.
Okay.
And then right as I joined, maybe we opened it up to the whole community. So anybody that wanted to come could come. And it's just a way for people to come and fellowship and meet your neighbor and, and everything. And so we would really like to get that back to the community and not just we would still contribute to them, but be able to bring it back to the community.
Yeah. And that's usually held
the Saturday before Thanksgiving.
Saturday before Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that's a great event that you guys do as well. And there's events that you're talking about that I forget about because there's just a lot that happens in Pea Ridge.
Right.
And so that's something that really comes to my mind is I remember Miss Ruth back in the day whenever she would run the tickets and stuff for the raffles whenever we had the fair downtown.
Yes.
She was an icon. Mm-hmm. She was somebody that you can look back and remember. Remember her and what she did. She had drive.
Definitely.
She was an authentic person. I'll say she was resilient because you weren't gonna get in her way of doing something.
No.
And so that's one thing that I look back and remember vaguely of her.
Yes.
And what she did for Beta Alpha.
Right.
It's those people like that, people like you, that the legacies that you leave behind. Mm-hmm. Don't think that you're not impacting people because you are impacting people. You may not see it or reap the benefits of impacting people, but people remember who you are at that time and remember what you did.
Right.
And one thing that that Ruth did was there was a giveaway. I remember I was probably 14 years old. There was a giveaway, and there was an older lady that won it, and Ruth gave her giveaway, and that older lady said, "I don't need that, give it to somebody else." Well, Miss Ruth gave it to me.
Aww.
And so she said, "This is for you because she don't want it. You're the winner." And so I thought, okay, I'll take it. And I think it was a gift card or something to Pea Ridge Outlet whenever Pea Ridge Outlet was here.
Right.
And so just those things like that go a long ways for people.
Yes.
And that's just my memory of what Beta Alpha has done personally for me. So is there anything else that we're missing that we want to talk about, that we want to get out to the community about your organization?
Right. Well, one thing, and like I say, and I know it's not strictly here in Pea Ridge, but St. Jude is very passionate of ours. And we do have people here in Pea Ridge that have been a benefit of St. Jude. Mm-hmm. So the money that we raise here that goes to St. Jude still benefits our local Pea Ridge people. So I will say the Saturday of the Mule Jump, we have our roadblock downtown by Arvest and White Oak there. We do that roadblock every year to raise money for St. Jude. Normally we raise about $2,500 just from that 4 or 5 hours that we're standing in the middle of the road, and we appreciate it so much. So I would just, if you have never been to St. Jude or don't know much about it, look it up online. And those people do so much for children that have cancer, and it will break your heart.
Yeah.
It's amazing what they do.
Yeah.
And so if you have the opportunity to give to us that day or any day that we're doing that, please, change. Every penny counts.
That's right.
And so we're all very passionate about St. Jude.
And you guys give back to St. Jude through the pageant as well.
We do.
There's a portion of that you guys give
Our
back. So
Putus Baby Box from 0 to 2, all that money goes directly to St. Jude. This year it was like $1,300.
That's awesome.
So all that money goes directly to St. Jude.
Yeah, that's very good. Well, Sandy, thank you for taking time to be with me today on the Mayor's Corner. And I think that, this information that we want to get out to people is stuff that, there's so many new people moving to Northwest Arkansas in general that don't realize the opportunities that we have in Pea Ridge for them to be a part of.
Right.
And so I hope that people watch podcasts, listen to the podcast,
Yes.
and want to reach out to you. What's a good way for them to reach out to you? Is it email, phone number, whatever you want to do?
Yes, any of that.
Okay.
You can Facebook message us. We have a Beta Alpha page. We have a Miss Pea Ridge page. So either one of those we'll
Okay.
monitor, and we can get to that. You can call me. I'll give you my phone number. It's 479-268-1107. I'll be glad to take your call. Call me, text me, whatever, and we would be glad to talk to you and give you any information that you need. And if you want to come volunteer with us, that'd be great.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in today for the Mayor's Corner, and we will see you next month.